Well, the graphics might have baited you out earlier, but as we saw the correction, Haven, the choice of Heretics, but for Vitality, somewhere that they felt very comfortable. Looking at players like Kovac, he dominated in their game last week up against Foot. The ISO was unstoppable, but now we'll see how he matches up against Heretics, who are already on that deep push, making it up to the trap, breaking it, and putting some pressure on Benji, who, as Sue said, has had some slower starts when it comes to most maps this stage.
In the meantime, the rest of the side are already into that A side, but they are being slaughtered alongside it. It is domination. Well, you mentioned, well, Benji Fishy. He's got to try and take 4 down. They are lined up ready to face him. It's never going to be easy from that point onwards, and a solid start for Vitality, a pistol win.
That site completely decimated once they got in, got a foothold. They could not hold on. Vitality immediately swarming them. The Yoru flash blinding, and the shots landing dead set.
Solid on both sides of the map as well, so there'll be no ease off. But very aggressive start, and actually the use of the vulnerability in combination with that shock dart has got a free opener for Vitality. It's bare minimum, they're hoping for a rotation. Dirk, okay, that's bold, that's very bold. You mentioned it, it seemed like bait, and well, Dirk completely fell for it. They've done some decent damage on the other side, and Kovac even popping that shield in the hope of finding someone. But now the rotation's gone back towards that A site again. This leaves B completely open, but the smoke is deterring them for the moment.
Yeah, flash through, and they're right on the site. Yoru out of flashes, but that's just fine for this squad. They've got a plan out of this situation. They've got that deep control with Woot towards the Gong, but Last is going to be weeded out. The reveal has caught Miniboo, though. The trade's good for now. An easy pickup for Woot. He flew under the radar. They didn't expect to play her on Gong, and now it looks like Vitality have no chance of winning this round. Shock Dart not even doing that much damage. And Woot faces a blinded opponent. That is an easy pickup.
One of the reasons they're so successful on this map is his individual brilliance. And already off to a solid start.
Good beginnings for Team Heretics. Another direct approach. This time Benji not going to be picked early, but Boo will. That's your smokes down, your paranoia gone.
That's worse.
Yeah, indeed. The blow will be felt much more severely now by the attacking side. The attempt to send Benji up through B, it's been space that's left relatively open. In a lot of these rounds, it makes sense that Heretics are defaulting back towards seizing that control. But Vitality have no need to offer up duels. This is very much just info gathering, pixel angles being held. You'll see the same towards both sides of the spawn. It's Heretics that have to make a move.
Still plenty of time. They're hoping for an overextension, but when you already have yourself that dimensional drift for retake, it does feel a little bit unnecessary to go for anything aggressive. And you can see how passive they're currently holding. This B site is the point of contention, but again, the openers go the way of Heretics. Woot to kick things off. And while that ultimate that would have been great in a retake is gone.
And a thorn in the side with Miniboo destroying the camera inside of Garage. They now don't know about their back. They'll make up for it by pushing forward quickly, taking that space back.
Too low.
Kovac almost went down as well. His shield's been broken. Shots back from Woot will take him out. There's the capitalization on the camera being taken out early. Miniboo wraps around and the round is over. Win or lose, you will be taken down when you... He shot too early and Kicks is gifted the round. That should have been it. A Red Bull clutch for Kicks that never should have been. And Vitality 3-1 in the lead. What a fumble.
That's the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry, Miniboo, I'm a huge fan, but that's the... Delete the VOD. Delete the VOD. Delete it.
But a round win. The recovery of what should have been not looking very likely at all.
I'm legitimately sweating off.
I can feel adrenaline within my body.
I don't feel good. I can't imagine how he feels. He was kind of smiling, so I guess that's what you could do.
It wasn't even like 3 bullets left.
No.
It was like a 9-bullet spray into the wall.
Yeah.
If that happens in my ranked game, the comps are not going to be great. Let me just say that.
Well, a 2v4.
I must wait.
Definitely a chance for a plant, but I like the fact that Vitality are just playing this one as a retake. Not going to risk too much, don't want to overface and give these players anything back, because although there was a blunder, I see Rien's on a site with a Guardian, and I still believe Boo, well placed. That's the first, the second as well. Okay, maybe they're going to respond immediately.
I mean, that is cerebral play. You don't often see it, and I'm sure he's going to stick with that storyline.
I
when we
wish
go to
I had a big
later.
brother like Boo, where I can do something like that, and he's like, don't worry, bro. I'll just clutch a 2v4 in the next round.
Ult online, rifle to play with as well. You're not going to put that in many rounds at this point, but if you find a pick or two, perhaps it could be considered. What is going on? Unfake's got a double. Now there's a chance. That ult could be invested, but Kovac's not in the spot to do so.
Ooh, he's in a better
Instead,
spot.
he's just going to walk around the trap set too deep. He's already past it. He's got the sight line onto Benji Fishy. And Heretics crumbling after that previous round. It's a 2v4. And those weapons, very recoverable for the remaining Vitality members.
Oh, already though. Mini Boom Boo. Back-to-back 2v4s. I'm here for it.
Decoy.
Got themselves a dimensional drift, but not going to be used now. Mini Boo needs to defend Big Bro, and he's already been caught by the paranoia. Managed to fake the steps out, catch their gaze instead, and oh, doesn't quite manage to win the fight. The shield keeps one alive, and redemption not there to be had. Kovac with a triple. Vitality respond immediately.
Yeah, we're only
There's
on the
more
way.
to come. I've
Think
seen
we
the
began
script.
at that line. Unfake grabbing two there. Two corners to clear, and when he lands his shots too quickly, Kovac's flank perfect, puts pressure on these players. But even with how the season's gone for them so far, they're 2-0. They haven't been defeated. That is a bold move from Kicks. Kovac needs to make up for it here, catching one, but it's the decoy that he pulled into his ultimate. Good reaction by Mini Boo to so quickly put that down.
I hate that that works, I'll be honest with you. And while Mini Boo, he's definitely lived to tell the tale. He's even caught Durka as well. Kovac looking for a response, and Boo just waiting on the corner. Finally, Vitality have found their first kill of the round. And with them still having a Hunter's Fury online, they can leave things a little bit later to try and find that opener.
Now it becomes a bit more difficult. The cam was activated. Durka, or Mini Boo rather, waited it out, destroyed the cam, and now opens up a little bit of space for potential push through. Obviously, Garage is being watched deep, but they could come
30
through.
seconds left.
Garage to the C site. So Durka has to back off. Now playing towards B. It's going to be a tough fight for Kicks. He can't find one before going down, and the rest of the squad locked out, or so you would think. Kovac goes in for the battle. Even with one side smoked, his teammates couldn't help out, but he wins the fight anyways. Less on the Mini Boo. Numbers starting to fall off for Team Heretics as Kovac finds another one! His third of the round now on the board! The shock dart, well, there's little that will do to help three players swinging him. Vitality, they found another round, a beautiful retake of the B side.
It's going to happen a couple more times. It just feels to go into the flow state, and he's looking incredibly good so far in this matchup.
And now they come towards this A angle. Have to be so careful of this operator on the angle, and it very nearly goes wrong.
It's you and me.
Immediately. Unfake's going to respond, though. It is going to be that battle, and Kovac's won it anyway. The fight hasn't been going the way of Woot so far. Benji's managed to take some space at least, but not quite able to isolate the fight. It is going to be some damage done, but it's this man that they need to worry about. He's been so deadly in the same position again and again, and Vitality have finally managed to get that double up. 2 in a row.
But hey, we've seen stranger things happen here on this map.
Yeah, already Mini Boo though, trying something a little bit cheeky. It hasn't worked out, and they're trying to hunt down Rien's. The rest of the team have actually made it onto the A side, but there's a big problem. The spike is with Rien's. So they got in and they can't plant it. They now have to try and get back, and Unfake is holding his ground, doing an excellent job, trying to dart to save himself, and almost manages it. Babu though, this is not an easy clutch. He doesn't know if he's been flanked on. And he definitely doesn't know that there's 2 players currently walking their way to his eventual demise.
Kovac's been able to find the value either way. So many rounds.
Just missed timing, but he's hearing the shots and the steps, so may be able to call the rotation. A 3-player push into middle as well. They're leaving him behind, and that's all he really wanted. Get rid of that controller. A lot more risks, and he's made it back on the cross into the site as well. Timed this decently well, but he doesn't know the mini-boo's already crossed. It doesn't matter, though. He has support. He has his teammate. And that means that Benji will lose his life as well. 30 seconds for Heretics. Well, they're going to need another clutch scenario.
Cross being watched as well. Les almost loses his life, but gets the information for the squad. They now know these players are on B. They certainly do with the plant, and Woot's being spotted as well. Nice shot onto Kovac, kicks down as well. Okay, now we've got a game on our hands for Heretics. The control doesn't stop here. They go deeper and take down Durka. A 2v2 HP advantage now for Heretics. The time ticking in their favor. Unfake spotted as well. They haven't seen Les until now. Woot's picked him off, and the advantage firmly in Heretics' favor. Unfake, he's had some good rounds, but last time they had pistols. They didn't peek together, but this time it's different. Heretics, they'll take the round and push up to 4.
Well, Heretics have found their ground again. They haven't managed 2 rounds in a row yet, but got another opportunity for it here.
It's funny as well, I was going to compliment Vitality for, even look at Durka on the A site jumping over to clear long, and the fact that Unfake goes in to fill the space. They've been on the same sheet so far, but they crumble towards the end of that round. Now the C site overrun with an opening pick, and Hunter's Fury looks to pad the gap. Fired in, the shield can protect you from the first, and he jumps over the third.
Well, Rians also just didn't care. He was just like, I'm just going to plant, and if you hit me, that's fine. Advantage taken. Blank. Managed to get past the trip. Benji already picking off one of the teammates, though, and it seems like he is well aware of this. Kix has managed to create a distraction, though. Durka very wary of some of these corners, but he kind of has to pick up the pace. Kix is still going strong, though, and now Durka shows his presence. It's going to be left onto Miniboo holding that cross. The first already connected, and he's going to try and bait things out, but it's already being stuck all the way. He has to run, and he hears a player step off of it. He knows he's not defusing at this stage, and I think that time should already be gone. Well played by Miniboo, and a Red Bull clutch to close the half.
A 7-5 half. We started out back and forth in some crazy rounds. It's fitting that you can't really separate these teams by much. We said both of these halves should be promising. For Heretics, there is still very much a chance to claim their map pick. 2 rounds behind going into the next. The pistol could give Vitality a big lead. We'll only find out after the break. There in the pistol, it will be a pacey start, or at least that's what they want Heretics to think. Looking towards the B site, putting on the pressure, and then looking for the rotation into C. It's being watched, and Benji already drops the shield. Got a challenge up close, and he'll win the first. Kovac able to stabilize him with Durka. A snake in the grass, he finds one, and gate crashes back towards their spawn. A good reset for him with a potential late round flank into garage. While the spike is being planted uncontested, Heretics now a man behind, have to try to find some answers to this problem. Durka slipped the net. He's made it through the B site. They're watching for him, but only here and there, and he catches the timing perfectly.
Standing ahead.
It's all right, though. These are the scenarios, if anything, that Heretics have been better. Put them into 2v4s, and somehow they managed to steal rounds away. Rians already with a nice start. Kovac covered under pressure. And now the remaining 2 playing from afar. The problem is that time. And they don't know exactly where they're playing from. Rian's trying to hold the line as that diffuser's already been half, and they're just going to try and stick it. Rians has almost managed to do it. The shock dart, it's going to lean in, and he's managed to find the kill at the end. Style points for Rians, and well, who could have seen that coming? Me. Me. I could have seen that coming.
Yeah, credit, it's always a bit more valuable coming from elsewhere, Tom, but pat yourself on the back, why don't you? A 6th round for Heretics. The scoreline likely to be equalized now, and it is Rians to blame for that. Miniboo does well in that backside fight, but it's this quick reaction. The second shock dart still primed and ready. And once the count comes out.
No look. It's favorite players in the league. You just need to go back and watch more Rians, and then you'll soon be converted.
nice opening for Miniboo. You saw the stat pop up earlier, 42% of the opening duels for Vitality have been taken by Durka, which, you know, Durka, it's not that surprising, but having players like Kovac on the team, and even that, 42 is the highest of any player within VCT EMEA. This man is happy to take fights, but this one, he won't be happy about how it went. An opening pick for Heretics. And there are still some guns kicking about on Vitality. I think most notably the fact that they've got that Outlaw to work with. A good option against two of the players, Boo and Benji Fishy on the other side, who are rocking those little 25 shields. The rest of the squad will be able to tank a shot. Kovac, he's taken out. Les doesn't get space, and this round is neatly tied up.
And zone flawless themselves 4 in a row. It's very close as well.
Silent.
I also think there should be a rule that
But even though I missed the
Woot
reveal, it
is
was
never
open,
allowed
you know?
to buy
I
a
knew
judge.
that they will walk.
Well, we had an ace with it earlier. Maybe that's what he's after. Nice opening by Miniboo. The gate crash allows you to take a lot more risks, and you have to wonder where was the cover from window to allow that to happen. I'm sure that's what Dirk is thinking as he ups his opening duel percentage, but not in a way that he's going to be looking for.
It didn't say he won them. It just said he took them. He might have a 0% win rate, but I don't think that's true. Be surprised. I'm sure that stat's coming soon. Captain Cal's already typing away. But even still, weaponry-wise, an advantage, but a few awkward weapons to come up against. Light shields on 2 of the players, and one of them tagged low, so Rian's a sniper is 1 shot to the majority. Luckily, the man who will likely take the fights is going to be Kovac. And most of the space is being kept. The thing is, though, this trip that's been placed is mainly just a kill trip. It's for Benji to get 1 kill, and then they'll look to try and play the retake together.
Won't work if no one steps past it. Good contain. Good shock dart in, and it will take Unfake down, but not before the spike is planted. Vitality now have time on their side, but Kovac has to have that same backside performance that we saw from Woot earlier, but he won't fly under the radar. He won't get 3 picks handed to him. Instead, a fight for his life right away, and one that he loses. We look to Kix, taking Rian's down. The flash by space, but Kix stands in the open. Now it's all on Les, and he won't last long. Benji Fishy with the double gives Team Heretics the lead.
This results, and you're looking at a 9-3 defensive half when playing versus BBL. The game before, they had a 10-1 attack half, and that continues in previous games as well.
Let's go!
Even then playing BBL again and having a 9-3 attack, the opposite to what they did last time. They're just incredibly good at this map, and it meant that even though Vitality had a solid half, even with a couple of blunders, it could be null and void if they can't find their rhythm in this second half. And, well, you sort of mentioned it coming in. We saw an incredible defensive half when they played versus Foot. Because of that, we didn't need to see much of the attack. And well, Durka, he really is increasing that stat, but on the worst end of it.
Captain Cal, let me know by the end of the game where he's at. Miniboo's got another double, and Rian follows suit. 3 for Miniboo in the round. It was 2 barrels. Just didn't quite land on that left side, as we're seeing. Not too far away. Nice.
The vulnerable
Rian's the same as we saw before. Vulnerable into Hunter's Fury. Great connection, and Kovac down, the man that has pulled them out of so many awkward positions.
Sorry, he does an
before.
entry.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's my opening duel. Well, let's see if he can recover something, because losing him and the smoke that went down stops any form of re-aggression. And Vitality are left in the same spot as the start of the round, just minus one of their best players.
It is possible he entries 58% of the time. We'll never really know. Woot on the angle. On that, they now have 30 seconds left.
30 seconds left.
See? And while Boo, well within the site, already utilized the paranoia, doesn't have too much support, but a potential immediate wraparound. And he's just looking to try and hold on to the back of the site. The first fight already going his way. Les needs to hold the line, and he's tagged low. Shield going to be activated, allowing Woot to just take over. He's maybe not had his greatest performance on this map, but he's had moments. And that's enough to now take Heretics to double digits.
For Heretics, the lead acquired and just a few steps away from victory. The opening duel off the back of the Hunter's Fury, but it's that fight there where everything falls apart. Vitality
Let's go!
And it's on the A side. Vitality, they're going to pressure C early. An easier fight for them, perhaps, without that Hunter's Fury around.
Oh, it's an immediate TP in from Miniboo. I was going to say the first weapon he bought in this round was a shorty, so I was like, he doesn't plan to come back alive. Just diving in early. I think to be disruptive, like you're coming up against a squad that had 5 ultimates available, or maybe 4 at the beginning of the round until the orb was taken. And because of that, you can't really just sit still. You can't wait for an execution off a dimensional drift, combining with that kill contract and a Hunter's Fury. So he's at least managed to get rid of one. That's not the player that you really wanted if you're a Heretics fan. He's got to try and do it with the Sheriff. And while Kovac has managed to get them that advantage.
Yeah, it's the downside as soon as they see.
Planted.
I'm sorry.
Taken. There's a flank on
Les?
the flank. Boo has got a freebie.
How did he get there?
One tap. Les is down and out. Okay, now we're back to a 3 versus 3. Vitality not going to be too happy about how this has happened. They're back now open. A potential flank could be in play, but
Woot has ult as well.
luckily for them, that's not the case. And indeed, the ult likely to be used. Good angle to use it towards short, still catching players deep on long.
Cover.
Now it's just a wall put up. They're going to try to put pressure on early. Great spam. Halfway already on the defuse. Kovac peeks in, looking for the duel. He's been tagged up heavy and finished off eventually. And here goes the ult. But it's down to the 1v1. No one to stick it halfway. No one to confirm it if the fight is lost. And it's messy. But Woot gets there in the end. Unfortunately, the spike has exploded.
It's a Red Bull clutch of the spike going off. Anyone remaining, their credits are right on the brink of breaking.
Fight for C. They're going to pick up the pace majorly this time. Straight into the site. Hunter's Fury comes through from Unfake. Trying to find those players on backside. Benji's still standing. Miniboo comes through! And he gets 2! Ult to get out of here alive! And he spotted 2 players. Those are both of the remainder. He knows that he can back off completely, reset into this fight, even grab a reload while he's at it. And the time isn't against Heretics. They just have to hold the control. Wait for a player on Vitality to make a step wrong or bide their time for the eventual retake, which is where we end up. For Vitality, they need space. They know that their opponents have the info on where both of them are. Fighting in towards the spawn seems to be the name of the game, but that's already spotted. 2 guns ringing out. They know they're both towards the back of the site. Paranoia doesn't catch, but Rienz catches Unfake and kicks to close out the round.
Because you can get caught in the crossfire, so you try and play aggressively. Unfortunately, the man you're facing into is going to be Rienz, and it's definitely a little bit. They've gone from 5 just a couple of rounds ago to 0.
Nice opening shot for Miniboo. His orbs won't be a factor here unless the game runs long. Unless Rienz has got a big play up his sleeve. Hunter's Fury shouldn't be coming online. But then you look to Vitality, and what are they working towards? Kovac, perhaps? Could turn the tide slightly if Miniboo isn't putting down that
Annoyingly,
decoy.
it would have been Durka.
And exactly.
But he's
Durka
the one
found
lost
a few
immediately.
orbs here, that'd be great, but only one found in death. With another opening duel.
Okay.
Kovac trading back, though. Not a bad start. Shock dart through, that's broken shield. Makes it much easier to deal with this man, but Rienz has got numbers coming through the gates. And another fight for the Sheriffs. This round is far from over.
Yeah, Kovac now picking up the sniper. A rifle as well for Les. This has gone from a scenario that, well, looked pretty much impossible to now very doable. A lot of damage done onto Woot, but he is going to be able to win the fight. And now they can get that extra little bit of information, but they're all playing close. Paranoia sent through. Les lands, and he lands on both. It's now left all on Taboo, and he will do nothing. A pay save card, Thrifty, and Vitality.
Came into the round with nothing, lost Durka off rip. Didn't get a ton for their trouble. But it's Kovac and Unfake finding those battles, and Les with the rifle recovered, making it valuable and then some, as the defense again looks to push to 12.
Oh, they are looking to fight. He's being revealed behind this and still fighting. Well, Les, I don't think he expected a second player to be there. Kovac under serious pressure, but he's doing well. Tagged low, and Dirk has even managed to sneak through. A lot of gaps being found, but then the fights from Rienz. He gets swapped with a shock dart. Like, this guy has been unbelievable so far. And Dirk, well, there is the gap. Managing to find another. It is a peculiar round. He now has a plant for him and A-Link control.
No shock darts left for Riens. They seem to be a deadly piece of utility indeed. Benji's double pushed and he's caught. I think he tried to walk back through the door, but the wall was in his way. Now Riens has to do it all. A 4-piece, 6 bullets left. He'll get the quick reload. They've left the site. They are giving him all the space in the world. You know he doesn't just have to push in. Look at the plant position. He has to be worried about players at the very top towards the gong, wrapping around the B site. And he knows now there's one towards Link. This is a tough position, and the flash just makes it impossible. Vitality 1 round behind now. They took their time, but the climb back has commenced.
Yeah, it's been such a disruptive couple of rounds. Like the teleport being sent through from Durka. He's basically covered the entire map in this round and is even there to clutch it out in the end.
That's going to give them the ability to stack up much more heavily in towards Garage, where a big part of their gameplay was breaking those trips. But the ult activated on A tells them the stack on A is really where it needs to be.
Fake stars, but it's Riens again. He has been a superstar throughout this map, in form as ever, but he will be traded out. Woot not really able to help him, but has his position been revealed? He's hit a dink. 2 players now desperately low. Shield activated as he's looking to fight, but even still they managed to hold the line. Vitality's climb back just doesn't seem to be stopping. They'll level things up once again.
Their ascent back into this has looked beautiful, and I don't mean the second map, which is their choice. Ending up there, having stolen Team Heretics win.
It's a much slower approach from Vitality. They're expecting aggression, and it is there. But Fu has not been cleared. And well, because of that, he's going to get away with a freebie onto Durka. Now, in the last few rounds, Durka's been alive in a lot of the late round scenarios. He has not been that first point of contact, and his survival has won them those rounds. So him being lost early, not a great sign.
Although it has been a factor of this map so far. Vitality have made it work either way. Saw the circles pop up at the start of the round. He was the only man without an ultimate online. They've still got all those to work with, but Kovac's not even thinking about it. It's the shield up and the deep push through. He hears players on site, looks to fight them. Nice flash, though. That's made it difficult for him to find value. The reveal is wonderful. Great work from Riens.
How?
They have dealt with that push beautifully. A combination of so much utility. The cage to give them a foothold. The flash out. The reveal.
Is he going to try and plant this on A?
Here.
Why not?
If he even gets there, it's going to be incredibly late. And well, the steps are definitely being heard.
Now you're done.
He's going to have to try and plant. Yeah, and it's already done. Not enough time. Riens just going to execute him at the end. Looks like Benji's going to be the one immediately getting the information. It's a much more direct approach being taken. They want to pressure C.
It's you.
They've gone off site. They stepped off site for this exact reason, knowing that the ult could come through. And it'll be nothing found but less. Even gets the double. They try to push out of Garage afterwards, use their cage for cover, but they're caught off by less. Now it's into a 3v4, and Minibu can't risk it. He steps back to the rest of the squad to take this fight together, but look at this. The rotation around, the deep play from Unfake. They've got more than enough bodies to deal with this site push, to deal with this retake, so they're going to throw a spanner in the works. Unfake could turn the tide if things start to slip away. The problem playing behind that smoke, it's a whiffy spray, but Minibu gets there in the end. Reveal destroyed. Smoke fades, but there's another to block passage for a moment, and when it falls, Riens is there, but Les keeps on going. He's already got his triple before he's put to bed, and now it's all on kicks to keep this map alive, and Minibu puts him down! Heretics, they were behind at the half, but they have come back in with a 13-11 victory on Haven. This is not going to change on this map, at least. As we go 1-0 in their favor, a chance to lock in playoffs here, and the trip has already been trapped onto Durka.
Why not shoot?
The side is taken over.
Nobody was there to help him that time. I spoke about all the support, and then it's just like him just flailing as he was put down. But hey, they've got into the post plant. That sometimes is the job of a Jet. Is you dive in first, you die, and then you look at your teammates as you hope they hold. And they're all standing within the smoke, ready for this fight.
Door breaks open. Did they go through or wait for the push? It's a little bit of both. A little bit of hesitation, and then they go firing in. The Good job, too. The quick trades, and Les on the double. He's recovered that nicely. This could have been a very different round, but Les standing his ground. Picks up 4 and puts Vitality on the board early.
From the side of Vitality. Oh, that was really crispy as well. And I think it's going to be important that they get off to these starts. This round, though, not mass expectations. The only worry is the time starting to tick, but they now look to make that move. He's already tagged up as well. And the run through, not going to find anything. Decent cleanup from the remainder, and the last 3 are very far away. May even just die to the spike.
Yeah, it could be the call at this point. You take a look at where Ult Economy's at, and Unfake, who was the polar opposite. I think he was, gone off memory, 5-2. In those opening duels, he was having a field day. He had some incredible plays. He came out of first half, top of the scoreboard in the previous map. Well, he is currently sitting 3 away from a Hunter's Fury. And although you won't have that vulnerable being delivered from your ISO, neither team having one, still an ultimate you want to respect. And one that they don't want to have online for their opponents. Reveal, though, is going to grab the info, and forward he goes. 1 away. 1 kill, sorry, 2 away, and there's the orb found. He might have that online with an early pickup in this next round for Vitality. 2-0.
3 players already within this B site. Shock Dart being set up as well. And that time starting to get that little bit lower. A chance for some real chip damage to be done as they now look to try and execute.
Paranoia reveal, that's going to get them info. Durka grabbing a kill off the back of it, and the Hunter's Fury flown through, catches Rienz, but Benji Fishy comes in to fill the space. Only good for the 2. Usually it would be good enough, but Vitality with those opening picks, they've come ahead, they found the plant, and a 3 versus 2. Look what Heretics are going to be made to do. A retake, rifles in hand, low credits though. But with only 1 player to the good for Vitality, it's worth the risk for this defensive side to try to get back in here. The drone coming from main alerts them to the fact that there is still a player there. Now they look to clear the site while those 2 are isolated. A smoke gives good options. 2 kicks and Kovac, a flash out. Woot. Oh, he's got one through the smoke. Numbers even. Unfake has to hurry his pace, but Kovac's buying time before he falls. And Woot doesn't have any left on the clock to play with. Trying to get out, but he's caught.
Back in as barriers are up. Well, it's just a slaughter immediately. He wants that ult back.
He's on his way, that's for sure. Halfway to the Hunter's Fury the next round. Hell of a start. The judge on Woot. The Sheriff on Boo, that's all that stands between Vitality and the round. Losing Durka early. Hell, Vitality are used to this.
Yeah, I guess so. It seems like he doesn't mind too much. Still put up a good performance on the last map, even if it seemed like when he got into the late rounds, he was so valuable for the squad.
When he got into the late rounds.
Yeah.
But it is, he's doing his role. We used to have these conversations back in the day. You think about when Raze was primary entering and you're just blast packing into your death, hoping the guy behind you trades. And
this
what you gotta do.
Was always the pinnacle of it.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing a Jet, if you're not dying first, it probably means either you're having the best game of your life or, well, maybe you're not the best Jet. For now, though, just patient stuff from Vitality. You have such an advantage, and we've already seen some pretty big blunders in the previous map. I'm sure that was the main talking point as they went in from the break was, it is not really that they were massively better than us. It was we had 4 or 5 rounds that we should have won and ended up only losing 13-11. And if they can avoid all those blunders, which right now they are doing, it's going to set them up wonderfully well.
It's far enough back there that I don't think they heard the updraft, but they certainly have an idea. Maybe they did actually dump a flash around that corner. Someone might have been within earshot. It's getting dangerous. But Woot is put down before the round can spiral out of control. For Heretics, they built up the credits for an investment.
Yeah, and you look back to the last time Ascent was played by Heretics, and it was an incredibly strong defensive side, 10-2 half. So far, so good. Vitality as they look to try and respond. Minibu in an aggressive position. All he really wants is one, and that's what he'll get.
Yeah, the flash sent over, it delayed his peak, but it almost worked in his favor. Isolating the 1v1 spams have already done so much damage. Minibu close to finding his second pick, and now looking for his third, but Les is the one to put a stop to it. Still, into a 4 versus 3. Vitality gets site control. They'll grab a plant off the back of this, and Lass his hat off his head for the info. We'll know where these players are. Going to give them the space, but not yet going for the plant.
Yeah, they're giving him time. That's what it is. They know if they plant, the execution back into the site is likely to begin, and they want him to be just that little bit closer. A chance that maybe as well the opponents have already gone to clear this with how much time was left on the clock. He does need to get a move on though. The other two players starting to get closed in on. Les has done his job. That is the flank, and he's done extra already. His third kill of the round, but his teammates are dwindling, are falling. It comes down to the 1 versus 1. But he knows that he has the time on his hands. Always clever in these scenarios, and he'll be there to close it out again. A 4K in the pistol, a 4K in round number 5. Les is looking unstoppable.
Just an outlandish read from him as well. You said it, they delayed the plant, and maybe for a moment Heretics thought about that, the flank potential. Why are they delaying? But then they set their sights on the site, and that's exactly when Les struck from behind. Lost to Rienz on S2G.
If you're going to tell me he lost to Benji as well,
yeah, well, it's been a tough time, but maybe that's a bit of inspiration for revenge. Durka certainly on that arc as he's found an opening pick. Unfake answers up on a Miniboo. It is weaker weapons here for the defensive side. They try to go back and deal with what they expect is a less lurk. As they find it to be the case, they lose their life in trade. Rienz and Benji last alive.
Planted.
If they can group up and make something work here with the Sheriffs, but really the question is damage. You don't want that economy to get out of control for Team Vitality. We've seen how hard it can be when teams get those back-to-back in-zone flawlesses, and it might not quite be that with Kovac going down, but it's damn close.
Making sure that that's not going to cause any problems, and then the rest was just pistols. They can't really have that much of an expectation, but already 6 rounds on the attack side. Normally we talk about this map and it's defensive side prowess, so
Vitality, you're coming in with clear intention. A trip behind and the rest of the squad moving towards the A site. Flash already in, dash on the back of the Durka's got a little bit of space. He'll wrap around the Gen. Nade pushes Woot out into the open, but Durka goes down. Boo's got him covered. Woot's already taken one. Rienz with the Hunter's Fury finds another, and this is a wonderful stop from Team Heretics. They've not even taken a blow onto Woot. An Unfake, good as he's been, hungry for vengeance as he may be. He's not getting out of this one, really, is he?
Time to jump.
Even if he gets Miniboo, there's plenty more to find.
I don't mind the idea. I think this was sort of the round where you expect that big buy to come in, expect the changes that Heretics look to implement. So you pick up the pace, you try and catch them off guard, you try and be incredibly direct, and well, that's about as low as a player can be. 3 HP from the operator shot. Well, eventually, Miniboo will get the job done. And in-zone flawless. Surprising after the 6 rounds in a row from Vitality that the first is incredibly clean from the side of Heretics. But this now needs to be the start of a big comeback for them, rather than just a flash in the pan.
The early pressure on A with the hope to drag a rotate. The drone is being heard. They'll step back. Only showing the Cypher.
I like that.
That could easily be the lurk. In fact, I think they want to sell that exact idea.
Yeah, and Durka's Bladestorm is just going to be that entry point. An immediate dive through into the site, but the hope is that maybe there wasn't anybody else there from above.
Oh.
He attempts to take out Benji, and he does get pretty close. The shields will at least regenerate. Miniboo is trying to hold on that cross, but there are 2 players deep within the site that might not necessarily be expected, and the TP brings a third. But Vitality are now going to go back the other way.
Yeah, they've made the read. You hear that TP, after putting pressure towards this B site, you know exactly what you're running into. A stacked up site, not one that they necessarily want to fight. But even the baited rotation, it seems to be all this comes down to. With 20 seconds left on the clock, they hope that someone from Heretics will step off that site, will start running towards A, but they won't. They stand strong there. 12 seconds. Now the spike hasn't even made it to the site. The clock is strangling them. They need to run. They need to get in here, and they are shut out. The time too far gone. The round 1. The question is, how much will it cost Vitality? And with only 1 rifle left standing in the end, they've got to be disappointed with how that one went.
Yeah, I think the main thing in that round was actually the deep position of Wu. Like, he's holding such a horrible cross over on the A site, deep, with so much information.
Here.
Patience rewarded for Team Heretics. I like this control. B main, late trip reposition. It's going to give them a lot of options, but losing Mini Boo, that's going to limit them. Paranoia is through the push up from Wu, but he doesn't know about the player in the corner. Now he does. Good suspicion. Dash over for the reposition! And that has caught Ticks off. That's given the spike to Team Heretics. Now they're the ones defending on the other side of the line. Boo will be forced forward. Not out into the open, though. That nade not shallow enough, but Wu tries to help him. Ends up losing his life, and they know exactly where that last player is. They've got Boo boxed in, but they need to move that spike to site. I didn't say which one. It's going to be taken all the way to B, and a 1 versus 2 will be left in the hands of Boo.
It's already been a weird round, and the conclusion could be something very surprising indeed. Like, Boo is still convinced. This time, it's almost the burden of what they did in the last round, pausing, being patient, waiting. And now he's got as far a rotation as humanly possible to try and get back in to the other side of the map. A million angles that need to be checked. There could be a snake in the grass at any turn. And even when he finally gets into the site, you're going to have that Cypher utility ready to try and stop him. Just the doubt in his own mind being the burden of truth in this one, and I almost think it comes down to maybe just trying to stop them instead. He's got past every single one of the trips until the very last second, and then an execution will be made by Durka.
Now, really great options created by Wu, like this initial fight to try to get that advantage back in their hands. The updraft dash to get around that wall to set up into the fight. The fact that Les maintained that deep control. Another foundation early. Vitality Durka, he's gone straight in to this A side. He's pushed them back with just a dash. Well, the Paranoia back in return was supposed to open space. Kicks was already in. He catches Woot. It doesn't blind you, just near sights you, and he was real near to his opponent. A 4v4 though with the trade back, and the smoke causing problems. Rienz has got to bail. That should give the plant over to Vitality. All the while, there is a snake in the grass yet again.
Yeah, he's always been in their back.
They're going away.
TP to the other side because of how much ground he's cleared. The only problem is the rest of the players can't just TP in the same direction, and that's going to give a pretty hefty advantage to Heretics now. But even still, less in the post plant, a divided defense as they look to conquer.
I like these trips. The same one that got them the kill last time, it might be expected, but one towards lane is going to give them a lot of options in that late round. If they drop down, they can't be that close to swing deep into Boathouse, and it's all about running the clock down. This time, the difference being the cameras online for less. Even if those players get close, there'll be that second line of information. It's the decoy that trips the first. Shorty's in hand. This is dangerous to deal with, and Team Heretics managed that very nicely. The time is quite low, though. It's gonna be close and not close enough. Vitality get it across the line.
Yeah, it's back-to-back rounds where the clock has definitely helped them out, just forcing players into more aggressive positions. And in this case, the time was enough just to close out the round on its own. It's a second pause called, but ultimately, like, it was a big gamble from Vitality, like losing this advantage. It was just the time that was taken to get back in again, having to try and clear all of this space and less being able to hold on for such a long time. Yeah.
Not seeing any pressure on A, nothing on short, he goes back. Luckily, there'll still be 2 players here for the push.
But the gamble is that they're going to have more players on one side and then the weapons on the other. And they're currently walking into the weapons. It's still going to be a difficult hold. The rest of the players are so ridiculously far away, and sure, that TP can be taken and will be. So that's at least a third. And the time has been a burden at times, but here we go. Hunter's Fury into the back of the site. That's going to make things awkward. Rienzo still does well. 14 seconds now to make this move. They've already found another. Still, 2 players sit at the back of the site, and they've managed to drop another. The spike not being stuck, and because of that, the clock now goes against them once again. The round already over.
From Boo's ultimate as well, he emerges from the shadows to a well-defended site. Rienz, he gets hit by the Hunter's Fury. It's an easy kill. He's revealed. But those other players on backside, they buy enough time. The round is done 8-2 to 3. For Vitality,
They're doing it again.
they can stop this at 9. It would be wonderful indeed, but Woot's already picked up the opening. Durka quickly coming through shorts, trapped Woot in the corner. He's going to try to get out of there, but there's someone waiting for him. Kicks is dealt with. A flash from Miniboo buys him another fight. Those players blinded. A second goes through. He finds himself and ends up going down to Durka. The spam, close, but not close enough. And we're back to a 2v2.
The second player still not spotted. Durka once again. Oh, it is a dangerous game. Just about surviving, but they have to be careful. Benji now looking to wrap around the door. It will be broken, and it was a nice bait from Rien.
Vitality may have given over 4 of the last 6, but they've built up enough of a lead that they could be bringing us to map number 3, Lotus. We'll see if that's the case after the break.
They're going to have to up that at least a little bit if they're going to be able to take this one in 2.
Stealing sight.
This pistol, a big deal for Team Heretics. They try to rush down, they're immediately put in the ground. Woot lost in the early fight. They have got boots on the ground now, playing inside the smoke. Miniboo has to cross into hell, and it's Kicks waiting for him there. The second player doesn't fall, but he's done enough. Kept it into this 3v3. Lesto caught, isolated inside the cage, and Heretics, they've turned this back in their favor. They've left only Durka. Man, we highlighted moments ago, this could be his half, and what a way to start it. He's already taken 1, 2 more to fall, but they can swing together. He's got to be quick, and he's got to be clean, trying to bait them out, but when they swing, it's to his defeat. 5 for Team Heretics.
We saw this before. Getting that second pistol seemed to revitalize them in the previous map. I do think it's much more of an uphill battle here, but that is likely the lifeline. You know, as it was said earlier, the wife's been away for a couple of weeks. He hasn't had much to do, so he's just,
in the range.
he's just playing with the classic
Captain
all
Cal,
day.
give us Chronicles classic stats compared to everyone else's. Whip that up by next round.
Yeah, let's talk about Chronicle in a game he's not even playing it. Maybe we save that for next week, you know?
No, right now.
Nonetheless, this one looking fairly easy for the side of Heretics. We'll see if there's any extra damage that can be done, even with the reveals. It's not looking great for any amount of damage. And that's the thing, they only have the 1 pistol, so even dropping a player or 2 here could cause either rebuys or just some low buys for the next round.
These last players, damage isn't done. So there's always a question of do you go for it to try to drop some weapons? But I think looking more so towards those ultis, similar to where we saw Unfake coming out of this same round on the other side. Rien's, he'll be happy to take some kills. He's going hunting. They won't want to give him them. Even the death just to give him the orb. That's what he's looking for. There's 1 found already. He's going to be 2 away if they take him down. He can just find 1 more. Ah, not quite.
I think the defense will be relatively comfortable, but they are going to be able to bypass that.
30 seconds left.
Found it and broke it. Flash playing with still a second trap, but he has to stay alive for that to be in play. Finds his way to Boathouse, hopes that they walk right into it, but they're waiting, biding their time.
Oh,
But Durka through the smoke gets a double. That's an outrageous pick from him, but time running low as the rest of Heretics make it to the site, and Woot matches Durka's performance. Puts them in the lead, gets them a weapon for their troubles, and with Plant Rien puts the Hunter's Fury in. It's found its mark, and Kovac falls! Heretics, they might be on the way to do it again, trailing at the half, but clawing their way back into this game!
Like the fact that it's this from Durka, just this wild spam through the smoke, and there was only, what, 12 seconds left, but it was those early tags of the players at the back of sight, and then Durka trying to get back in.
Stranger things have happened, that's for sure, in this series alone. But Benji's already given them the advantage. An orb taken for Unfake as they climb towards ultimates for the next round, for the bye round. For Vitality, quite a ways to go to make this one competitive, to make it doable. Benji might be far enough away, but 1 shot to the head will take him down. Unfake, it's not quite the Haven performance. Won't be catching the double right away, at least not for now. Shock dart through to soften them. Durka's here now as well. Two Sheriffs waiting to take this across the line, but Benji's there again to catch them off, to secure this important round, and Unfake try as he might to make this doable. It's an uphill battle for Kicks and Kovac.
Not really any expectations from this point onwards, and they do have to be careful that
Spike planted.
they're not just feeding the orbs over to the other side. They just bring some additional context, of course, with Heretics 2 and 0, the chance for qualification in the very early stages of our second split. And for Vitality, if they were to lose this map or the next, it would send them 1 and 2 and put them within risk, especially with upcoming matches versus the likes of a BBL. Considering how some of these matches have played out for them, especially last week in a close game versus GX, that would feel rough.
Team Vitality timeout.
One enemy remaining.
Looking to stem the bleeding. The advantage that they came into this half with has now subsided.
They are a terrifying force to be reckoned with. Well, Kicks, he's about to come under some pressure.
Oh, but the paranoia should have gotten him out. Minibu must have been blind there. But his crosshair was on the angle. His reaction's perfect. Hunter's Fury is put through. The attempt here from Unfake to pull back an advantage, and he'll get a tag at least. It's Benji low, but they've already made their decision. The rotate coming through. The cross on mid, already secured. The trip, sure, it gets them some info, but nothing really. It all relies on Unfake finding something from main. Now they've gotten less back on the side as well. That cage giving him safe passage to the site. And what would have been a wide open site now, not so much. And the main thing is, Tom, look where the spike is. They can't really afford to split this through without main being clear, but on the way back, they're going to be caught by Durka.
Well, the bigger thing is the fact that Benji has managed to now just walk straight into the A site. He's found that information that even though they had some pretty deep footholds on B, they can now rotate into this side of the map. No Hunter's Fury to deny the plant either. It will have to be the retake, but they can also leave a player or two behind in some pretty aggressive positions.
Yeah, I love this double setup. The high-low in towards Garden. They've snuck through the Garden gate, and they're cutting deep down to the bone as Vitality lose another at Minibu. No, he doesn't get two here, surely. The classic even comes out. It's a disaster class from Vitality.
To see the mid-round calling from Boo, like, it definitely... it definitely came off the back of a little bit of luck, but also just, you could understand the gamble. You've lost completely that market control. You want to try and get back in and help the team. I think Durka even catches one as they try and rotate away, but just that spike actually being kept meant that they had to double check to see if Unfake was there and realize, okay, there's at least 3 players around this angle. Pace change, Durka's ult going to be a pivotal part, trying to take the fight, and somehow he's been sniped out of the air by a shock dart.
Yeah, that's an opening duel he's going to want to forget. Vitality losing a player. They've still got rifles on the rest.
Okay.
And Unfake, he's brought them the advantage. He's dropped the spike inside of main. Now they have to go fighting, and that they will, but Les is still waiting. Minibu, he had the gate crash, and now he has the spike. But 3 opponents to take down the lead for Heretics. But it doesn't look like they'll keep it for long.
Oh. I've seen him win a clutch like this going the other way. Just from the A site to B.
Back soon.
And a disgusting little clutch. Instead, he's left the gate crash behind. Maybe able to go for a late flank. Instead, he's going to take the early fight. Main thing will be the timing on it. That gate crash is running out soon, and I think he ended up just having to leave it. They've all gone past him, so this is a real opportunity. So sneaky, just like he was before on that B site. Nobody checking the back too. Could be for free, but it's a little whiffy. Even still, though, he's managed that first. He's breaking the window to try and bait. Try and get them to look the other way. The swing is well timed, but again, hasn't quite been able to capitalize. He has taken them off that spike, but the second they tap this, he needs to swing, and Les once more will be a safe pair of hands.
Scenario, but that was That was spooky, Tom. I was really hoping we weren't going to see another blunder after those first few shots. We were there. I remember it all too well. I'm sure he does as well.
Nice. Let's go, guys.
A mixture of pacey hits and these slow defaults. For now, though, they're at least baiting out a little bit of that utility.
Life's caught Woot. They know that this player's on short already. Now look to execute on that with Mini Boo down. Kovac just backs off.
30
But as he
seconds
swings
left.
in, reloading, a risk is taken. The info gathered from it, but he'll lose his life to Woot.
wins it.
The 10 HP player still drawing breath and drawing blood along with it. A 4v4 as they close in on the site. The tap of the spike, attempting to bait them out into the open. It's less again, finding 1-2. In fact, from up above, 12 seconds.
10
The spike
seconds left.
has to be stuck soon. They'll actually get it down. Just waiting for the smokes to fade as Les continues to frag out, leaving Rienz alone. He's got 2 to take down, both coming from heaven. He doesn't know that. He knows about Jet. And it is Durka with an off in hand. He'll bait for the other, but it ends up being their downfall. A Red Bull clutch for Rienz. And the lead back in Heretic's hands.
He's just the guy you want in those moments. They've got so many individually fantastic players, but you put him in a clutch and you just expect this guy to win. And unfortunately, in this case, the bald synergy wasn't quite enough. The bait was basically perfect.
I just hope there's no lip
Maybe in
readers out
3
there.
rounds, they'll be able to show it to them.
Yeah, it could be. This one's certainly not going to have a lot of contest from Vitality. The rifle in the hands of Les. If you've been watching the last few rounds, you'll certainly understand why. He has been frying.
Yeah.
But he's sent back towards the B site. The drone will scare him away.
Wow, if anything, you want them pushing into this man's site. If you're a Vitality fan. The rest of the team, hightailing it to this side of the map, will almost just act as bodies for Les to trade.
Paranoia is getting close.
Les has just picked off Mini Boo, though. A quick headshot to deal with one. They now know that the rifle is on the site. They need to try and deal with this man, and he's trying to play things safe. Just go for those taps and then duck away. Ultimate even used to try and remove the utility. One of the other major advantages is those ultimates that they could use into the backside. As the
30
time
seconds
now
left.
ticks further away again, it's going to be less on contact. Still yet to take any real damage, but he is losing all of those teammates, and eventually they will get the job done.
They brought Kovac back up, and I think Kix is making the best of a bad situation by doing so.
Got a gun.
And got the rifle as well recovered from the corpse of his enemy. Kovac's the man walking in. We need to see Kix with him. You need that rifle to be swinging at the same time, and it isn't. Isolated. As Kix was holding towards Boathouse now, he's done for. He's trapped in! Maybe not! They're locked in there with him with
Hello?
4 HP, but they're also equally as low. Shots to the body, all that's needed, and it's a wall back from Kix. A 1v1. Benji yet to show his hand, hiding on the back of the site. Kix is running out of time. He needs to force the swing, force the fight, and he does so, but to his detriment.
A very nice try from Kix. He only found this rifle later in the round. The prediction. I think he's trying to catch the player on the box.
Listen,
Actually
guys.
get someone on the
My
stairs
bad, that
instead.
was the worst play I've ever done, and I'm never gonna do it again.
Yeah, there's no more 9-3 curse. It's just a first half curse, I guess. Don't be good at the beginning of games, because it really doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, our region full of comeback kings, evidently, and Heretics. They're looking to hammer this home. This is the buy from Vitality. I said 2 rounds needed, but Tom, you're right, it's 1. It's this one with the weapons invested into, and one of them finding success on the back of the site. But Woot, he's not going to site. He's going deep into the spawn, and it's himself and Benji to find one. Now looking to force the issue. They've tagged Kovac heavy, and they're going to hunt him down, running their way to the A site, or so you think. Spike's just gone on to B. It's now TP'd out, and Vitality have got to be scratching their heads wondering, what the hell are they doing? Where are they going? Where will the push come in? And they may be about to find out the hard way.
Stopping once again. I think the second ping onto Kovac. Who didn't want to give the spike away? Durka at the back of this site. We need to see that hero he can be, but Woot is just looking that little bit better. 20 and 13, another triple to add to the collection, and while Kovac, good luck from here, 42 HP, force to find. Yeah, I think holding onto the rifle holds a lot more value than anything else. Back to the foot game, it was not even remotely close, 13-2, 13-5. When it seems like a team has that ability to come back into matches, something we've not seen too much of from Vitality. A chance for him to be the hero we know he can be. Kovac obviously not having a gun in this scenario is going to make things a little bit more difficult, but that's a spike. An important kill. Even if it just buys time, it may not necessarily be something that he looks to defend. But with 30 seconds left, a third player was gambled over. Benji now finding a kill on B makes things interesting, and it opens up a gap. A little bit of panic, a little bit of disarray, and now two have to fight to keep them in the map.
And they've got Benji Fishy coming in the back lines as well. You've got to deal with this guy. Unfake goes back to do so, loses a lot of health in the process, but makes this a bit more manageable. Shock dart down, but it's too deep. It's not going to catch these players. The crossfire here, dangerous. A wide swing from Durka could catch one. It could catch two, in fact. The reposition needed. The reveal is there, but Woot's got another. It's all down to Durka, and he'll fall, and Woot's hands again! 13-9, 2-0. A hard-fought battle for Heretics, but they have locked in Stage 2 playoffs.